So, fun fact, Linus Lundqvist is on standby to replace Nolan Siegel this weekend in IndyCar in the Arrow McLaren ride. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Saturday, I think it was Saturday, it was a doubleheader weekend for IndyCar. They had two races at Iowa, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. And Nolan, I believe, wrecked in the first race. It was either the first race or practice or something like that. I don't really remember. I think it was the race because they ended up withdrawing the car from the second race because he wasn't medically cleared. Linus, he ran last year for Chip Ganassi. He was a rookie. You know, he never really had any runs that set the world on fire, I would say. He had like one or two that were pretty good. But after the musical chairs at the end of the season, he was left standing without a ride. So he's on standby, which means I would venture to say that he's probably actually going to drive the car. Because the way that I look at it is, yeah, maybe it's true that Nolan just wasn't medically cleared. He's not been running good in that car in comparison to his teammates. And so I would venture to say that this is a combination of both medical clearance and potentially maybe looking to make a change in the driver's seat moving forward. You can't have one car running terrible and the other one's running good. So we'll see what happens. I would love for that car to run up front, though, because I am a McLaren fan. I'm sorry. I just am. I'll just say it. I'm a McLaren fan. Formula One, IndyCar. I just am. So I'd love to see all three of their cars run up front, but we'll see what happens. If you enjoy listening to me talk about motorsports, cars, or anything else that I feel like talking about, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, turn on notifications. Tell your friends. As I've said before, and I'll continue to say it, I'm probably going to drive y'all nuts, but we're in a copyright strike currently, so the more that you spread the word, the better. So shout it from the rooftops. Tell everybody to check it out. If you're interested in vehicles, racing, what have you, this is the best channel on YouTube. And that's not a lie. It is. If you're interested in diecast cars, t-shirts, hats, racing memorabilia, or anything else, not even racing related, literally anything, check out our eBay. The link is in the description. We have a sale going on right now, I think on most everything, for like 20% off or close to it. So check it out. If you see something you're interested in, shoot me an offer. I likely will not say no, as long as it's reasonable. You know what I mean? Like selling the door to a car for 50 cents. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. But regardless, check it out. Without further ado, let's get into the rest of this thing. Let me say this. I don't know how many of y'all watching this are in the southeast United States, but it's flipping hot, man. And I'm not talking about just like a dry heat. No, the humidity, you could literally cut it with a knife. It is that thick out there. I'm in my office, and from the house to the office is probably like 30 yards max. And I'm soaking wet just from making that walk across the yard. It's dumb. I've lived in Alabama the vast majority of my life, and I'm still not used to it. I don't know how anyone can get used to it. You know, if you talk to most people around here, they're like, yeah, the best thing to do on a hot summer day is get you a nice tall glass of iced tea. How can you do that? How can you drink a glass of sugar water when it's this hot outside? Are you insane? So how many road courses is too many for NASCAR? That's an honest question, because I've been seeing everybody online fussing about the fact that there's like, I don't know, 6 road courses during the course of the season nowadays, and Shane wins on all of them, so everyone's bored and they hate them. That's not what NASCAR is built on, even though NASCAR did have road courses basically all the way back to its founding. My problem with this line of thought and this argument is, I remember just a few years ago, during the Gen 6 and the COT era, everyone was begging for more road courses. That's a fact. I mean, you can argue me all you want, it's just a fact, okay? I remember 2012, for instance, when Brad, Kyle, and Marcos had that crazy finish at Watkins Glen. They did it 2 years in a row, basically, where it was those three, but 2012, there was oil on the track that allegedly NASCAR didn't know about, so they never threw cautions. So those guys were sliding all over the place. Kyle got spun out, and then Brad and Marcos got elbows out and a little argy-bargy with one another, and it was a great finish. After that race, everyone was saying that we needed more road courses, okay? So NASCAR did what everyone was asking for. They put more road courses on the schedule. Fast forward to 2025, and now we have a car, the Gen 7, which is awful, and it races terribly. It's boring to watch. So now all of a sudden we have too many road courses, and the road courses need to go away. You know, that Brad Keselowski was saying on, I think, X, that NASCAR is an oval series, not a road course series. Like, dude, get out of here with that nonsense. Get out of here with that crap. Okay, why are we focusing on things that are not the problem? The circuits are not the problem. The problem is the garbage race car. Okay, I've said this until I'm blue in the face. At the beginning of this season, and basically all of last year, everyone was complaining about the race car. And the result from that was NASCAR kept coming out saying, we're working on it, we're trying to make it better. You know, we're trying to make it not flip over. We're trying to do this, we're trying to do that. Okay, well, the argument or the complaints from the fans has shifted. It's no longer about the car, it's about the circuits. So now you never hear NASCAR saying anything about working on the race car to try to make it race better. You literally never hear them say anything about it anymore. The problem is not the circuits. The problem is the race car, and everyone needs to focus and channel their ire and frustration where it needs to be directed to, which is towards the car. And the more you do that, eventually NASCAR is going to have to do something. The more you ignore it and blame everything on the racetracks, which has absolutely nothing to do with anything, the more we're going to be saddled with a garbage race car, a sports car masquerading as a NASCAR or a stock car, which is what it is. You know, I've never understood NASCAR fans. Like, I love you guys. We're all on the same page. We all love the same thing for the most part. But, like, if we're going to fuss about something, why not fuss about something serious? Something legitimate. You know, we fussed about the playoffs enough to where they at least changed the venue at the end of the season. I mean, I don't know what that's going to do exactly. It's not going to fix any of the problems, but that was done because of frustration from the fans. So it's like everyone's scatterbrained and they're like, well, no, the tracks are the problem. God, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Okay? The car is garbage. Just let this sink in. The car is garbage. Let NASCAR know about it. It's as simple as that. Okay? I don't know if y'all watched the 6 hours of, I guess, Sao Paulo, or was it Sao Paulo? 6 hours of Brazil this weekend, the World Endurance Car Racing. Now, I started to watch it when it first came on. I watched like the first 2 hours, and one of the Penske Porsches got out front and was running away with it. Cadillac started up front, and they ended up winning the race. But I didn't see the meat of the race because the problem I had, I think it's Sunday, yeah, it was Sunday. The problem I had was there was too many races on. I don't have enough screens. I mean, you had WEC, IMSA, IndyCar, NASCAR, and then that's not even Trans Am. You know, all this other stuff was on, so it's difficult to pick and choose. You know, I had my TV on the wall in the living room on. I had the computer, the desktop on. I had my phone on. Watching 3 different races at one time. Not easy to do, by the way. And what's crazy too is, yeah, I did it so I could have something to talk about on the channel, but I also did it because, like, I just love racing, man. I could sit there and watch all of that all day, every day. And if I didn't have a wife and kids, I probably would. You know, but I gotta give and take with television a little bit. Just a little bit. But anyways, Cadillac ended up winning. I don't know if that's the first time that that's happened. If they've, when they finished 1-2 in a WEC race or at Brazil, I don't know. But it was a team, I believe, Team Jota with the Hertz Cadillacs, and they finished 1-2, and the Porsche finished third. I don't really know how that all transpired, if it was a pit strategy thing or what have you, but pretty good race nonetheless, and pretty cool to see that. There was, in one of the, I believe it was IMSA race, when they had TCR and they had another class out there. I think it was either Saturday or Sunday, obviously. They had a massive crash at going down the straight. I think they're in Canada, and took out like 3 or 4 cars. That was cool. So if you didn't see that, I'll put the link in the description so you can check that out. But anyways, I really just wanted to touch on that thing about NASCAR, because it's driving me nuts seeing everybody talk about that. And completely take their eye off the ball and talk about things that don't need to be talked about. Why? Just stop doing that. Let's focus on the things that we need to focus on. For the love of God. If you guys enjoy listening to me ramble about motorsports and cars, make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, turn on notifications. If you are interested in diecast cars, t-shirts, hats, women's clothes, lamps, home decor, action figures, kids stuff, kids toys, kids clothes. And when I say lamps, by the way, we have a ton of lamps. So if that's your thing, if that's your bag, check out our eBay. The link is in the description. We have a 20% sale going on right now for a while. I don't know when I'll stop it. Probably never, until everything's gone. And if you see something you're interested in, just shoot me an offer, and then we can go from there. Until next time, guys, and gals, I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you. Peace.